want to discuss a hot topic, one that's in the news all the time and that can cause a lot of heated debate and emotion. The topic is personal freedom. We hear those two words mentioned so often, especially because of incidents, as I said, in the news. But what I want to discuss is what it really means to have personal freedom. Now, let's start with Merriam-Webster's definition, which is how we typically think of personal freedom. And that is that personal freedom is freedom of the person in going and coming, equality in the before the court, security or of private property, freedom of opinion and its expression, and freedom of conscience subject to the rights of others or the public. So it probably sounds pretty familiar. But let's take this concept deeper by focusing on it from a different angle. Let's talk about the foundation of personal freedom, and that is your ability to show up fully and authentically as who you are. If you feel you can't do that because of internal fear or external circumstances, you lack personal freedom. Also at its core, personal freedom involves your ability to do things that are meaningful to you, to pursue your dreams and your goals and fulfill your purpose. If you don't feel able to do those things for any reason, you lack personal freedom. Now, in his book, The Motivation Manifesto, Brendon Burchard says or writes, it's the main motivation of humankind to be free, to express our true selves and pursue our dreams without restriction, to experience what may be called personal freedom. But to experience personal freedom in those terms, you have to know your true self. And it's virtually impossible to express your authentic self and pursue your dreams if you've so deeply buried that identity that you have no inkling how to be that person. And too many of us have covered up that identity because it feels safer to be who we're expected to be, or someone that won't be judged or harmed. And so the first step towards personal freedom really is to uncover this true self and then begin showing up as that person. Once you know who you are, you can choose who you want to be going forward. And I'm not suggesting that you feel dissatisfied with yourself or become self-critical, but you may have a nagging sense that you can be and do more. That to realize your full potential and fulfill your purpose, you need to change in some ways. Maybe you just want to be you, and that's awesome. Show up authentically. But perhaps you want to step into a better version of yourself. Sorry, something coming through here. A better version of yourself, or what we would call your best self. And with that decision made, you can take on that new identity and express that self. Now, in either case, you are going to make a declaration about who you are or who you want to be, and state that explicitly, clearly, firmly, that this is your new identity. So I'd like you to just take a moment and to decide, to declare who you are and who you want to be and what you stand for and what you want to do. What's important to you to do. Now, two things could hold you back. Two things. You may have clarity about who you are and what you want to do, but you may still feel as if you're not free to be and do those things, right? So what is it that holds you back? According to the principles that we teach in Certified High Performance Coaching, which is personal growth, the things that are holding you back are self-oppression and social oppression. Social oppression we know a lot more about. Self-oppression we don't talk about as much. But personal freedom arises out of the knowledge that you can be yourself without fear of fear of ramifications. Because fear causes you to hold back or suppress yourself. As an example, self-oppression can come from the fear of judgment, of ruin, of rejection, of regret, of responsibility, or of failure. But also, personal freedom is born of the knowledge that you are not constrained by other people's opinions, behaviors, or beliefs. As long as you act from a belief, an internal belief, that others control you in these ways, you're going to remain a victim of social oppression. you can see that a fear of social oppression, that fear, which, sorry, is social oppression, that being your, I'm sorry, let me repeat that. You can see that fear, which is self-oppression, the fear that being yourself or doing things that you think are meaningful, when you think that that's going to bring you unwanted or dangerous reactions from others, which is the social oppression, that causes a loss of personal freedom. Okay? As long as you feel unable to show up as the person you choose to be and do the things that are meaningful to you, you lack freedom. Now, I understand that some people truly lack personal freedom, and I don't want to come off as callous here. Outside forces have taken freedom away from them. Now, as a white, privileged woman living in the United States, I can't totally understand that level of lack of personal freedom. I haven't experienced it, and I admit that. But I have been the brunt of prejudice, and I've felt unsafe being myself, and I've been afraid to take action. My relatives were killed because of their religion during the Holocaust. So as a certified high performance coach, I actually look at personal freedom from a personal growth perspective. I'm not saying that other type of lack of personal freedom doesn't exist. It does. But I look at it from a personal growth perspective. And from that perspective, personal freedom grows from within an individual. It's about how you feel on the inside, the beliefs you hold, and who you declare yourself to be. It's about taking responsibility for your identity, your actions, and how you view the world. It's an attitude, a mental outlook, and emotional stance. More than that, it really is an identity. Personal freedom rises out of the sense that you can declare who you are, what you stand for, and your commitment to your life and your life's work. Makes me think of Viktor Frankl's book. You know, he really, after 3 years in Auschwitz and other concentration camps during the Holocaust, he said that what saved him and others through this loss of personal freedom was a focus on the hard fight for existence. In other words, rather than focusing on the atrocities and the potential of death at their captors' hands, the survivors focused on hope and life itself. They had no personal freedom except in their minds, but they could control their minds and their emotions. They were free to decide where to focus their thoughts and what to believe. And they were free to decide who to be and what was important to them. And each and every one of us has that same mental freedom. And when we are mentally free of fear, we are personally free to a great extent. Now, there's also a spiritual perspective to this topic, and that is that your soul is always free. You're a spiritual being having a human experience, and the spiritual aspect of you is related to your soul, which is eternal and always safe and free. And that is you at your core. That is the real you, your essence. And I really believe that our souls are calling to us now, especially now, whispering in our ears that it's time to stop holding back. It's time to remember our soul's agenda. What do you want to do in this lifetime? What are your aspirations? It's time to identify the goals and the dreams that hold meaning to you and to take action on them, to do the things that move you closer to fulfilling your purpose, which is the reason you're here. But how do you do that, right? You're probably thinking, how do I do that if I don't feel free to take action? What if I still feel constrained and lacking personal freedom? Looking at it from a personal growth and spiritual perspective, personal freedom becomes possible for anyone, anywhere, in any situation. It's an internal state of being. So go inward, declare who you want to be, then be that person in thought, feeling, and approach to life. And whenever possible, be that person in action too. It's time to feel personally free, to show up as your best self and to take action on the things that align with your purpose, is it not? So leave me a comment down below. Tell me if you feel able to develop this internal state of personal freedom. Really interesting topic, important topic today. So I'm Nina Amir, the Inspiration to Creation Coach. I am a certified high performance coach, an inspired results coach, an author coach. And this topic is on my mind because for the next 6 months, from September 2021 through February 2022, in my Inspired Creator community, we will be discussing personal freedom, and we will be making declarations about who we are, who we want to be, and what is important for us to do in the world. If that's of interest to you, click above and check out the Inspired Creator community. It is a personal and spiritual growth community, a safe container where we can discuss such topics and we can step into our best selves and fulfill our purpose and create lives that feed our souls, despite anything going on outside. There's never been a more important time to discuss personal freedom and to work on it ourselves, right? To feel it ourselves. So if you're interested, click on the link above. And I hope to have you join me. And until next time, go out there and achieve more inspired results.